Ibrahim Traoré's reply to Michelle Obama moved millions to tears. In a moment that captivated the world, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, president of Burkina Faso, issued a heartfelt and powerful reply to a message from Michelle Obama. What began as a conversation about Africa's future turned into an emotional and historic exchange that has moved millions across the globe. And in this video, we break down the full context of Michelle Obama's message, Ibrahim Traoré's surprising and emotional response, why this reply is resonating across Africa and the diaspora, the deeper meaning behind Traoré's words on freedom, dignity, and unity, global reactions from supporters, activists, and Pan-African leaders. This is not just political, it's deeply human, and a moment that symbolizes the awakening of a continent. What you'll learn in this video, the exact words of Traoré's reply that sparked tears, why his message is being seen as a turning point in Africa's global voice, the significance of Michelle Obama's outreach, how this exchange reflects a shift in Africa-West relations, what this means for the African youth and future leadership. Join the movement. Leave a comment below. Do you think Michelle Obama's message was genuine? Did Traoré speak for all Africans? Like, share, and subscribe for more bold and emotional content on African leadership, unity, and transformation. The context of Michelle Obama's engagement with Africa. Michelle Obama has a history of advocating for education, empowerment, and youth leadership, particularly through initiatives like the Girls' Opportunity Alliance under the Obama Foundation. While First Lady, she engaged with African communities, notably during visits to South Africa and Botswana in 2011, where she met with young women and emphasized education and leadership. Her speech in Soweto highlighted the potential of African youth, drawing parallels with global struggles for equality and dignity. The Obama Foundation's Leaders Africa program, launched to foster emerging leaders, further underscores her commitment to the continent's future. Without details of a specific message to Traoré, it's reasonable to assume any outreach would align with her focus on inspiring African youth, promoting gender equality, or fostering global partnerships. Such a message might address Burkina Faso's youth, given Traoré's status as a young leader, born 1988, age 37 in 2025, or comment on his policies of sovereignty and self-determination, which resonate with themes of dignity she's championed. Ibrahim Traoré's leadership and emotional resonance. Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's interim president since his 2022 coup, has emerged as a symbol of resistance against neo-colonialism, drawing comparisons to Thomas Sankara. His policies, expelling French troops, rejecting IMF loans, and forming the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, with Mali and Niger, emphasize African-led solutions and sovereignty. His youth and defiance resonate deeply with a continent where over 60% of the population is under 25, inspiring hope for a break from historical exploitation. Traoré's speeches, often invoking Sankara's legacy, are emotionally charged, blending pride, urgency, and a call for collective action. While I don't have his exact response to Michelle Obama, his rhetoric, like his 2023 Russia-Africa summit speech, includes powerful lines such as, "The slave who is unable to assume his revolt does not deserve to be pitted," and "Fatherland or death, we shall triumph." These echo Sankara's 1984 UN address and have sparked emotional reactions across Africa and the diaspora for their unapologetic demand for dignity. Why Traoré's message resonates across Africa and the diaspora. Traoré's appeal lies in his embodiment of Pan-African ideals, self-reliance, unity, and cultural revival. His rejection of Western dominance, coupled with practical policies like boosting agricultural production, e.g., millet yields rising from 907,000 to 1.1 million metric tons from 2022 to 2024, speaks to a continent weary of external control. In the diaspora, particularly among Black Americans, Traoré's defiance mirrors historical figures like Malcolm X, resonating with movements for reparations and self-determination. His leadership inspires rallies from Jamaica to Paris, where diaspora communities see him as a torchbearer for Marcus Garvey's vision of African unity. His message taps into a shared frustration with exploitation and a desire for a unified African voice. Social media amplifies this, with his images and speeches fueling youth movements in Mali, Niger, and beyond, where leaders echo his call for sovereignty. The deeper meaning behind Traoré's words on freedom, dignity, and unity. Traoré's rhetoric centers on three pillars. Freedom. He frames liberation as breaking economic and political chains, rejecting IMF dependency and foreign military presence. His statement, "We do not need the IMF or World Bank to know what our children eat," underscores self-determination. Dignity. Traoré links dignity to cultural pride and economic autonomy, addressing Africa's paradox of resource wealth and poverty. His policies, like agricultural support, aim to restore pride by ensuring food security. Unity. Through the AES and calls for Pan-African solidarity, he echoes Nkrumah's vision: the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of Africa. This resonates as a rejection of division sown by colonial borders. These themes strike a chord because they address historical wounds, slavery, colonialism, and neo-colonialism, while offering a vision of a self-reliant Africa. Global reactions from supporters, activists, and Pan-African leaders. Traoré's leadership has galvanized diverse reactions. Supporters, across West Africa, youth chant his name alongside Sankar's, with social media abuzz with his speeches. In Jamaica, Rastafarian communities rallied in Montego Bay, linking him to Garvey and Haile Selassie. Activists, Black American activists, inspired by his anti-imperialist stance, see parallels with their own struggles against systemic oppression. They view him as a symbol of global black resistance. Pan-African leaders. Figures like Julius Malema of South Africa's economic freedom fighters have endorsed Traoré, framing him as a catalyst for continental unity. His AES initiative is seen as a model for regional cooperation. Critics. Western media, like BBC and France 24, often portray him as aligning with Russia, reflecting fears of losing influence. General Michael Langley of AFRICOM has accused him of corruption, though this has backfired, rallying more support for Traoré as a victim of Western smear campaigns. The exact words of Traoré's reply: hypothetical. Since I lack the specific response to Michelle Obama, I can hypothesize based on Traoré's style. A reply might mirror his 2023 Russia-Africa Summit speech, where he said, "Africa is not free, but it can be. The slave who is unable to assume his revolt does not deserve to be pitied." Such words, if directed to Michelle Obama, could thank her for her support while urging the diaspora to join Africa's fight for sovereignty, potentially moving audiences with their raw conviction. Without the exact text, I can't confirm what sparked tears, but his Sankara-inspired calls for revolt and triumph often evoke strong emotions. Why Traoré's message is seen as a turning point in Africa's global voice. Traoré's leadership marks a shift in Africa's global narrative, rejection of neo-colonialism. By expelling French troops and forming the AES, he challenges the Francophrique system, signaling Africa's refusal to remain a pawn in global geopolitics. Youth empowerment. As a 37-year-old leader, he embodies the aspirations of Africa's youth, who see him as proof that their generation can lead. Global resonance. His speeches, amplified on platforms like YouTube, reach the diaspora, fostering a unified Black consciousness that transcends borders. Institutional focus. Unlike charismatic leaders who falter, Traoré emphasizes governance, education, agriculture, and judicial integrity, potentially setting a sustainable model for African leadership. This turning point lies in Africa asserting its voice not as a recipient of aid but as an equal partner, demanding respect on the global stage. The significance of Michelle Obama's outreach. Hypothetical. If Michelle Obama reached out to Traoré, it would signify a bridge between Western and African leadership paradigms. Her focus on youth and dignity aligns with Traoré's vision, suggesting a mutual recognition of Africa's potential. Such outreach could amplify African voices. Her platform could spotlight Traoré's policies, encouraging dialogue on sovereignty. Challenge Western narratives. By engaging a figure critical of Western influence, she might signal a shift toward more equitable partnerships. Inspire youth. Her endorsement could galvanize African youth, reinforcing the Obama Foundation's commitment to leadership development. How this exchange reflects a shift in Africa-West relations. The hypothetical exchange reflects a broader evolution, from aid to partnership. Traoré's rejection of IMF loans mirrors a continental shift toward trade and self-reliance, as seen in Obama's own emphasis on partnerships over patronage. Challenging Western hegemony. His defiance, coupled with potential Western engagement, suggests Africa is renegotiating its role, demanding respect rather than control. Diaspora involvement. The exchange could strengthen diaspora advocacy, with figures like Michelle Obama amplifying African narratives in Western spheres. This shift moves away from paternalistic aid models toward mutual respect, with Africa asserting its agency. What this means for African youth and future leadership. Traoré's rise, and any engagement with figures like Michelle Obama, has profound implications. Empowerment. His youth and policies inspire young Africans to lead, aligning with programs like YALI, which Obama launched to foster leadership to self-reliance. His focus on agriculture and local governance models a path for youth to prioritize practical solutions over external dependency. Global solidarity. The diaspora's support, amplified by global figures, encourages youth to see themselves as part of a worldwide black freedom movement. Challenges. Traoré must balance revolutionary rhetoric with democratic institutions to avoid the pitfalls of past charismatic leaders, a lesson for future leaders.